Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for jumping on the recording live or plugging into the recording, jumping onto the Zoom live, or if you are watching this on the recording. Thank you so much. We're going to go really in depth on, it's called demystifying the invitation. It's all about piquing interest, creating curiosity, inviting. I think it is the number one skill. There's a lot of number one skills, I think, in our space, here with Nelo, but I think this is it. If you get really, really good about inviting somebody or getting someone excited to take a look at what we have, you're going to get enough people that will say yes. It is all about the invitation. And if you create that curiosity, pique the interest, get them excited about taking a look, you can definitely do very well. So we're going to jump in the information in the training. Those of you that saw the email yesterday, there's a new product that was just launched yesterday called Life Tea. It is incredible. We have more and more information coming to you. The science behind this is amazing. It is a natural testosterone booster. There's clinical trials on the main active ingredient that are incredibly impressive. I know a few people have jumped on it and just seen awesome results. I'm excited about it because I'm here in North Dallas, and literally it's about every strip mall, every other corner, there's some sort of low T center that pops up. All right, where you can go in and get injections. So we know that there's a massive demand out there. We know that the business potential is huge, and it's not just for men. Men and women can see incredible benefits from increasing their own testosterone. So jump into the information, plug into that, take a look at that product in your live shop. And we'll be having more and more info coming up on that in the coming days and weeks, and some more options on the ability of how you can purchase it. So let me jump into the information, share my screen. On this training, I've trained for this for a number of years, and I literally think it is one of the most important things. We all have a little bit of a different style. What I'm going to try to do is put in some categories to really simplify it for you on how I break down inviting and try to make it to where, hey, it's exciting, it's not scary, but also can get people into the action of, hey, what are we looking at? What's exciting? So this card right here, and I have my wallet here in my pocket, if you can still see a picture of me. My mother gave me this card probably when I have two of them. One of them is right here. It says, never let the fear of striking out get in the way. It's been in my card since this one, probably since I was 12 years old. So that's a lot of years. And then this card right here is also in my wallet, and it's been there for, 30 plus years. And it says, never let the fear of striking out get in the way. So the invitation is, yes, how we do it, but it's also the fact of you doing it, right? We can be fearful of, hey, what they're going to think, how they're going to respond. I think when we go through the how to today, it will really simplify that to where you won't have the fear. But I just think this is incredibly important, that it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have, it doesn't matter how incredible our products are as a company, how incredible the compensation is, how incredible the people are, your support system. If you don't actually step in the box and take a swing, nothing ever happens. And so I love the front because it says, never let the fear of striking out get in the way. But the back is probably my favorite because Babe Ruth simultaneously held the major league record for career strikeouts, which is 2,305, and home runs simultaneously. So without all those strikeouts, the 2,300 strikeouts, he never would have been the home run leader for all those years. And, arguably, potentially the only clean home run leader for all those years. It's another subject, another story. And so when I talk about like what it is to be successful here, if you were to have success, 1 out of 10 times, meaning if you talk to 10 people and one of those people say yes, whether it's a customer, whether it's an affiliate, will you win in the end? Will you have success? Will you crush it here in Nelo? And if we were in a live setting, I would ask you to raise your hand and give me your answers. And I've done this for years, and I've gotten tons of responses. For some people, it's yes, 100%. For some people, it's depends on who says yes. There's a lot of ways you can do it, but it's a trick question because it doesn't matter how many people or what your percentage is if you're not talking to enough people. And so you'll hear me all the time. My system is 2 to 5 people per day. If I'm in a stretch where I'm really trying to launch big, right? Like Dante talked about last Monday, right? I'm going to compress those time frames and talk to 10, 20, 30 people a day, because it doesn't take a lot of time to talk to one individual. Number one, if you do it properly and it's short and sweet. But number two, it's not just the percentage as much as it's the quantity. And I love this quote by Mickey Mantle here below. Obviously, I have a lot of baseball isms, but during my 18 years, I came to bat almost 10,000 times. Mickey Mantle, almost 10,000 at bats, or 10,000 plate appearances. Struck out 1,700 times, and he walked maybe 1,800 times. So you figure a ball player will average about 500 at bats a season. That means he played 7 years. So 7 of his 18 years, he went to the plate and never actually touched the ball. And I just want you to visualize that and think about that, because a lot of times when you do reach out to someone and you pique their interest or you do make an exposure, nothing's going to happen. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with the person you're talking to. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with Nelo or something all whatsoever. It is just the reality of it and the nature of not only what we do here with Nelo, nature of the industry, but it's the nature of sales in general, right? There's a lot of times that nothing happens, and that's completely okay. But I always like to start with this to create the right mindset that when you do go talk to people, you don't necessarily have to hit a home run. You don't necessarily have to get a strikeout either. Sometimes it's just moving it along, from home plate to first base, from first base to second base. I've got tons of people that are in my contacts list, in my candidate list, that are on first base, and that's completely okay, right? Because they're still in the game. And so I just wanted to give you that analogy that it's not just what you say, how you say it, what it is. It's also about the mindset of, okay, correct. Here's the reality of what you're going to face when you go into this and you start sharing with people. So what is more important than how? And when I mean how, we're going to go how to share and how to do it. But what is more important than the how you do it is why you're doing it, right? You hear this all the time. For me, it's the reason I'm wearing this jersey, right? It's my kids. I want to be able to be present with them. And so those of you that don't know my background, I played college baseball, played professionally for years. Um, we're a huge athletic family, and we had those opportunities because my dad worked 2 to 3 jobs his whole life. He's an 80 to 90 hour a week guy, and he gave us opportunity. And because of that, he missed out on a lot of us growing up. I remember in my college career, he saw me play 6 times, and professionally, he never saw me play in my 4 years of playing professional baseball. And so I made like a commitment to myself when I was at a young age, saying, hey, like, whatever I do career wise, I want to be present for my kids because I don't want to miss out on that. And so for me, that's what drives me. So when I go and I take, either get a no or not yet or not sure, or that person's kind of on first base, it doesn't matter because that's what drives me. And so it is important on what that is, that reason, right? And maybe to earn enough money to take that next life trip. That's awesome, right? They're incredible. I'm jealous. I wish I was there right now. So whatever that is, that's definitely important. The how is really simple. It's the why that you can do it. But nowadays, it is easier to connect with people than ever before. In fact, one of the things that I think hold people up from connecting with people is that that's so easy, and there's so many different ways to do it. Nick, do I text them? Do I call them? When I text them, do I send a voice message? Do I send a video? Do I send it on Messenger, on Facebook Messenger? Do I do it Instagram? What about this TikTok stuff, right? There are literally millions and millions and millions of ways, if you break it down, on ways that you can connect with people. People you know, people you don't know, people that are out in your community. There's literally pages and pages of social media of interest groups, right? And so rather than find reasons why you can't connect with people or why it's not working for you, or like, hey, I don't feel comfortable calling that person. Cool. What do you feel comfortable doing? Send them a message on a social media platform, comment on their post, whatever it is, the next thing that you feel comfortable with, do it. So instead of look for a reason why you can't talk to them, look for a reason why you can talk to them. I've done a training for years. In fact, Aaron's here on the Zoom. I can see him here now. He watched one of them. It was at a huge convention. There was probably 20,000 people in there, and I pulled someone's phone up. We went through it name by name by name by name, and I just asked them, okay, tell me one thing about this person, their name, where they live, and one thing about them. And with just that simple information, there's a reason to connect with somebody, right? If they're a contact in your social media, on your phone, there's a reason. But it's all about creating curiosity, right? Once you find the reason to connect them, create curiosity, get them excited to take a look, right? And we'll go through like how you can do that, how you can simply do that by connecting it to them. Once they're excited to take a look, or once it's tied into something about them, then it's much simpler, and you'll get a lot higher percentage of people that actually do look, that do watch the video, that do jump on the Zoom, that do show up to your house, right? And in the end, it's not about one exposure, right? It's not about, very rarely in my career have I called someone up and it was an initial sign up. Very, very rarely. It is mostly a process. I love how Randy talks about that. Hey, in his career, you know, and I'm gonna brag on him a little bit. There's been 4 times in his career he's built teams of over 1 million people, right? So they had different compensation plans, they have different products, different groups of people. He built teams in different countries around the world, right? What was it? It was the system. And that system is multiple exposures, right? Create curiosity, connect with the multiple exposures. And so I literally visualize people that are in my contact list going around the bases. Yes, it's corny. I love sports connections and I played baseball for years, but you know, I visualize people that they're either on first base, on second base, on third, and guess what? Sometimes they go from third back to second. Sometimes they go back to first. Sometimes they get kicked out of out of the stadium. Doesn't matter. But to me, it's just more of a fun game connection way to make it simple and to really demystify it, right? So there's tons of platforms to connect with people. All the social media things. I have people that are really good at TikTok. I don't. I think I have a TikTok account, but I've maybe been on us, you know, 7 or 8 times. There are people that are really good at Instagram. There's some that are better at Facebook, and then those that are on Facebook, but they're not really on Facebook. They're more that are in Messenger, right? And so my whole point in this is that whatever is the way that you connect, right? I'm more of a messenger person and a phone call person than text. So those are my personal top 3. There are people in NELO that are great at email. There's people in NELO that are all about the phone call, and that's really it. There are people that, hey, all they do is they post on Facebook and they can go build a business. It doesn't matter what it is. And all I'm telling you is it is it's the point of, hey, you find your reason. One of the greatest platforms to connect is at your home. And so I challenge every one of you that's on the Zoom today is you'll have your highest percentage success rate. If I were to go send 10 messages on all the social media platforms, right? I'm good at YouTube. I text message, I video message, I voice message, I phone call, email, or I have people over at my home. The amount of connections and the success rate sign up, your success rate at your house is always going to be higher, right? And so we have a global takeover this next weekend. Get plugged into that, right? Have an event. If you have no one on your team in your area, have one. Invite some people over and use some of these tips and tools that we're going through today on how to actually get people to show up to your house. So the key is it's not, hey, is one platform better than the other? The key is look for a reason to do it, not for a reason not to do it, right? So with YouTube, it's all about content. Same thing. It's about commercials, not the movie. All the studies and stats show, and this is on YouTube, social, Instagram, TikTok. It's all about having short, sweet videos. People lose interest very quickly, right? And so when we talk about being the commercial, not the movie, you don't need to tell them all the information. You just want them excited to take a look. It's all about piquing interest, creating curiosity. I have always done a really good job after about my first 9, 10, 11 months in the industry of asking questions with a tool, not me being the expert on it. And so you want to always have that, whether it's a third-party person that you plug into a phone call or a group message or a group text, or whether it's a video that you can get someone on, or plugging into one of our social media pages that has some testimonials there. Ask questions with content. Like, hey, what kind of savings can I get with our travel platform? Hey, great question. Let me add you to our Teach, Travel, and Transform Facebook page, and you'll see tons of testimonials in there. Like, great, what kind of products can I see? Hey, let me add you to this page where you can see a lot of people's results from it, or this Telegram page that we have. So it's all about connecting them, piquing their interest, and then giving them third party information. I always mix up family, occupation, recreation, motivation. So when I said earlier, you connect the person on a reason why they would be excited. It's always broken down in these categories. And we have some in-depth trainings on this. We'll have more trainings that come down the road that go really in-depth on family, occupation, recreation, motivation. But if I were to pull up someone in my phone randomly, that first thought that comes to my head is what I want to connect with them with. Okay. So if I just pull up and it's a random person and Aaron, right? For example, I just use his name. My thoughts of Aaron are, seeing him on stage at a big convention singing. Right. So I'd call him up and like, dude, like, man, I just had this thought of you on stage, you singing and taking over the crowd and everyone going crazy. Hope you're doing well. Love your energy, love your passion. Hey, I found something I'm really passionate, excited about, and I think that you would be too. If I sent you a short little video, would you take a look? So we're connected there, right there. There's a reason I called him. I'm not just reading off a script. I'm not just going something there. It is a very personal connection. And with that one, it's recreation, right? Because when you see Aaron on a stage, it is definitely recreation. It's motivation for a lot of people. It used to be his occupation because he used to be a DJ. And so it almost kind of connects all those things for sure. So have fun with it. But in the end, connect, right? So when I do connect with someone, I'm a big believer in keeping something short and sweet. When I first got in this industry, I had these long, elaborate sales pitches. And my wife got in the industry. She didn't have a sales background. She used to do hair and own a hair salon. And she crushed me at the business because she was just excited and she was short and sweet to the point, right? So now for me, I trained for years. I actually put a timer next to my desk or in my car when I was making phone calls, and I had to do it less than 3 minutes. And even now I do less than, 1 or 2 minutes. It's just like that one I just shared on Aaron. I'm like, hey, Aaron, what's up, man? I had a thought of you the other day. You dancing and singing on the stage, like taking over the whole crowd, man. Hope you're doing great. I found something that I'm completely jacked up and excited about, and I think you would be too. I think you'd be dancing in your boots again. If I sent you a video, would you take a look, right? That's less than 40 seconds. So be quick, no surprise. What I mean, no surprises is you don't say, hey, come over to my house next weekend for a birthday party, and then automatically turn it into a business presentation, right? Let them know what you're doing. Be direct, but be short and sweet. Be passionate, but real. I think that's key. Be you, right? You guys have seen my wife on a Zoom. I'm not Natalie. I'm not that ball of energy like she is, but I can be me and be passionate and be excited, right? So be the most highest level of yourself you can be, but also still being real and being transparent. And then share the top things that you're excited about, right? It may be this new Life tea product, right? It may be the melts that we launched. It may be Stellamere. It may be another product you have. It may be the travel platform. Those out of the US and Canada. It may be Life Elevate. It doesn't matter what it is. What is the thing that you're most excited about that you believe that person would be excited about? And then always share your commitment and desire. Okay. Meaning, hey, Aaron, like, I know we worked together years and years ago, but like I'm all in on this thing. I think this thing's going to go to the top and I'm here. And I would love to lock arms with you and go do some great things, right? He knows that I'm here, I'm committed, because that's a big part of the support system for people. Okay. And then point to third party. You guys heard me when I was, giving you example. Let me send you a video. Let me invite you to my home. Let me bring you on to a Zoom. Third party, third party, third party. Let me send you this PDF. Let me send you this short little video. Third party, third party, third party, third party. And then one of the most important things following up that is always set the follow-up appointment. One huge learning experience I had early on in my career is that I would get pretty good at, when I got short and sweet, direct, passionate, real, me excited, but I'd never set the follow-up. And it was much harder when I reached out on my follow-up if I didn't actually already have it set. So, hey, Aaron, all right, I'm going to send short you this shoot video. It's 3 minutes long. It's on this incredible product, Stellamere. I think you're going to absolutely love it. Hey, when do you think is a good time where you can, step away from the game you're watching today and watch it for a few minutes? Okay, cool. Today at 1 o'clock. Awesome. I'll shoot the video over there just before that, and I'll call you right afterwards. Right. So I've already have it set. That way it's not weird when I'm following up, to keep it easy and simple. The urgency is key. You guys have all heard the saying and the quote, urgency is synonymous with wealth. So for me, I'm always trying to create a reason why they got to do it now instead of tomorrow, instead of put it off the next week or the next week. Now is important. Urgency is key, and you'll have a substantially higher success rate, close rate, follow-up rate if you have that urgency and the excitement. And then the next thing is questions are answered at the appointment. If Aaron's like, man, well, tell me about this product. Awesome. That's why I'm sending you the video. Okay. Watch that short video. You're going to learn a ton. You'll probably answer some questions, but you're probably going to have some more questions. And then that's why that's the reason I'm going to call you right afterwards. Right. So questions are answered at the appointment or with a third party tool, that video, the Zoom, the email you're going to send them, the text you're going to send them, the PDF you're going to have from them. Third party, third party, third party. It's important for them to know that they can do it. They can keep it simple. They don't have to become a salesperson or try to convince their people. Okay. So these are the ways they connect. So when I always talk to people on teams and team building, one of the biggest things that I think people have a hurdle of getting over is, okay, Gary, what do I say? I'm not a huge lover of scripts, although I love them because it gives you a really good framework on something to build on. But what I love is being real and transparent and connecting with that person, because there's a reason that they're in your phone. There's a reason that they're on your Facebook, is because you have already connected with them. And so I'd much rather when you talk to them, you talk to them on a way that you're already connected rather than something that's just off of a general script. You're going to have a higher success rate, right? Take that 1 out of 10 to maybe 1.5 out of 10 or 2 out of 10, a 20% success rate compared to if you're just going off of a general script. So use those scripts as a framework, right, to go off on, and then take it to the next level on that person individually. So I break the invite, the connection, down into a few different categories. I think 4. Number 1, questions are the answer. Okay. When I connect with someone, I ask them questions many times, right? I'll call up Aaron and say, Aaron, what's going on, man? How are you doing? Hey, you remember that time when you were on the stage years and years ago? Man, that was awesome. Hey, what's keeping you busy now? Hey, what's, I'm excited. What are you excited about? If he's like, man, I'm really excited about, this product I got on my health, right? Hey, my kids are now in college and I'm having to earn some extra income, right? So when you ask them questions, find out, you're going to find a reason why they may plug into NELO more than what you did before. Okay. Number 2 is why. Now you can use your why. I think it's important. You heard Dante go in Monday, really in depth on his why and why he's launching his business on Stellamare. If you have not watched that recording on the Monday Mastermind, definitely plug into it. Huge results that they've seen with their family with the product. And so he is massively fired up because of his why, because the experience that him and his family, his daughter is seen on this product. But I also use that why and figure out a way that you can connect with them. Okay. And Dante's really good at this. He talked about it Monday. He's like, okay, great. I've seen incredible results with my sleep here. And I just know you mentioned something, a couple weeks ago when I saw you at the gym that you were dragging and, things were busy and crazy. I think this product would really help you. Right. So always plug in why you're calling them to why you think that they want to be involved. Right. Business wise. For me, I have 3 daughters. If anyone ever calls me about an opportunity, say, hey, man, I know you got 3 daughters. I know it's expensive now. I know it's going to be expensive tomorrow. I know it's going to be incredibly expensive 10 years from now. I have something I think you'll love that still gives you the ability to spend time with your girls, but also be able to pay for all the craziness, right? That would be my why. So someone who calls me and knows me, that is the best way to connect with me on to pique my interest. Okay. So your why is important. It's what drives you. But if you can find a way to connect with their why when you're creating an interest, piquing their interest, create curiosity, it'd be great. Number 3 is the mirror match. Okay. And so this is why it's so important to plug into all the Zooms, because you're going to hear somebody story about a product. That's why it's important to plug in and go just check the testimonials and to see the life shopper of the week and to see all the things that we have here to connect. Because you're going to hear one story that's when you're scrolling through the contacts on your phone and it pulls up here and I'm just going to scroll here for a second and it's Matt and say, wait a second. I remember that story that, that I heard when I was on the life trip and they were telling about the results they were getting with the business and what it was doing for their life. That totally makes me think of Matt. And so when I call Matt, I'm like, Matt, hey, I met someone in Mexico. Totally remind me of you. They're doing this and this. Here's where they're crushing their business or they're having their little great result with this product. I think you would absolutely love it, right? And so it's using, in that example, I use their why and I mirror match by telling someone's third party story. To me, it's one of the simplest ways to actually reach out to people. And then the last thing is compliment. At our house, we make an absolutely very logical, intentional habit of complimenting people. Okay. And we're not fake about it at all whatsoever. It is a very real, transparent thing, but you can always find something positive to say about somebody. And so when I'm reaching out to someone on the phone, a messenger, send them a video, I try to implement as many of these as I possibly can. Okay. So you guys heard it. The first thing that I said when I was giving you the example about Aaron, I'm like, Aaron, and you remember when you were on the stage just crushing it and just taking over and everyone was, chanting your name and having a blast, love it. I mean, that's a compliment. That's a huge thing, right? And then I used his why I did it or why I was calling him like, man, I think you're going to, kids are in college. I think you're going to absolutely love what this is and give you some extra income. And then you can mirror match. If you're able to use one of these, 2 of these, 3 of these, or 4 of these in your invitation to your home, to watch a video, to plug on to, to a Zoom, to just meet up as a one-on-one, the more that you're able to connect with them individual or on a personal level, as well as the more you're able to use of these, that higher that success and that percentage rate goes up. Okay. And so what I challenge you guys is I just gave you a number of off the cuff examples of piquing interest, creating curiosity. Every single one of them was between 30 and 45 seconds. And so those 30 to 45 seconds, can someone do 2 exposures per day? 100%. Dante on Monday talked about how he films a video of himself and then sends a video. How long is that going to take? An extra 30 seconds, maybe. So we're talking a minute to a minute and a half per exposure. So when you talk 2 per day, can anyone on this Zoom do it who's doing this part-time? The answer is yes. You have 3 minutes in a day to do it. If you don't, cut the shower close. Take 3 minutes away from your sleep pattern, right? Do the 3 minutes while you're doing something else, when you're commuting to work or commuting home to work. It is 1000% doable, in my personal opinion, when done effective, short, sweet, to the point, direct, and doing an actual invite. And so what I challenge people, we call this 1424 in our house. My brother's the sports psychologist for the Cincinnati Reds. And so he's their peak performance coach. Is something that he teaches at the big league level on all of his athletes on how to get better 1% per day, right? It's the reason why I love our Life Elevated product, because compound interest is the most powerful thing in the world. And if you just gain a little bit per day over the course of a month, you've gained a bunch. Over the course of 12 months, you've gained substantial. Over the course of a year, 3 years, 5 years, it is crazy. And so there are 1,400 and I think it's 40 minutes in a day. Okay. 1% of that is 14 minutes and 24 seconds. So when I talk about, hey, become absolutely focused, obsessed with you mastering your 1424, right? When it comes to exposures, commit yourself to spending at minimum 14 minutes, 24 seconds of your day. If you do this consistently, day over day, week over week, month over time, guess what? You will win. You will be successful. Okay. If you're horrible at inviting right now, guess what? If you spend 14 minutes, 24 seconds every single day doing it, you're going to get better a week from now, let alone a month from now, let alone 3 months from now or 6 months from now. And we like to do this in every aspect of our life. So, I'll challenge myself. Hey, Nick, what's my 1424 when it comes to being a parent? Can I spend 5 minutes a day with each of my 3 kids, pouring into them, ask them how their day was, giving them some recommendations, giving them some life hacks, or most importantly, just listening, get 1% better as a parent every day? What does that look like at the end of the month? That's 30% better, right? It compounds and it's huge. Same thing as as a husband and a wife, as a spouse. Same thing in your spiritual walk. So all those things that are important, even same thing, in your physical journey, 14 minutes, 24 seconds. It's not an hour a day, but it compounds substantially over time. And so I challenge you in a couple aspects of your life to be laser focused on what is my 1424 I want to get better in. Is it 14 minutes, 24 seconds of personal development? Great. Go jump into our life library and watch 14 minutes, 24 seconds of something. There's tons of great content in there. But when it comes to peaking interest, building your business, reaching out and growing, at minimum, commit to 1% of your day and get better every single day. Over the course of the week, the month, the year, your life will change. And guess what? Then what happens when your business happens? When your team members do this? You could be brand new into our business today, have no people on here. Recruit 5 people this month, right? Be part of the so you can get your product wave for the next month. And then what if those 5 people are doing 14 minutes, 24 seconds, right? Well, now every single day, you plus them, that's 6 people at 14 minutes, 24 seconds. You're almost at 100 minutes a day, an hour and a half already a day, right? Well, let's say each of those go get 3. Well, now you have 16 people doing 14 minutes, 24 seconds a day. That's how you grow a large organization. That's how you compound. It's with systems, with the tools, but it's being able to do small, simple things daily over and over. And so take that 14 minutes, 24-second challenge serious. I assure you, those that do, you will get better. Your businesses will grow. And when you implement that amongst your whole team, you'll have massive success. So I hope this helped you guys today. I always like to keep these short and sweet. Everyone has a million things going on the weekend. If you're plugging in here from Mexico, we love you. We're jealous. We still love you though. Have an incredible rest of the weekend, and we cannot wait to see you on the next one. We will talk to y'all soon, and we'll see you Monday on the co-creation call. Y'all have a phenomenal weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.